Minimax H3 is a total badass.
Wow, do you lift?
No, I just use Minimax.
The amount of flexibility and power it's dropped into our hands is both exciting and overwhelming. It's got a great text-to-video model, but its image-to-video and reference-to-video applications are where it really shines for filmmakers. So today I'm going to cover my all-in-one T2V, I2V, and Ref2V workflow and show you how to accomplish any kind of shot you want with this extraordinary new model. First things first, basic text-to-video and image-to-video. Now with my custom audio option. I won't spend too much time on this because it's fairly straightforward and powerful right out of the gate. Toggle to enable the T2V, I2V model here, and decide if you want 0 input images, which is text to video, 1 input image, which is I2V, or 2, which is first frame, last frame. The cool part here, I only just discovered, is that you can now force the model to use your own custom audio, the same exact way I did for my LTX workflows. It even uses the LTX nodes to separate the audio from the video latent and put them back together. This means Minimax will automatically lip sync lines of dialogue for you or change visuals to better represent an audio file that you give it. That's not something the model was supposed to do, but here we are, eating a free lunch.
Listen, Fern. When close friends of opposing sex go out with just each other, that is what we grown-ups call a date.
Now's a good time to talk briefly about prompting. Minimax understands prompts like an English professor and a senior programmer all wrapped up into one. The LLM text encoder that this model runs on is smart and huge, and it actually follows instructions, unlike... So treat it like a director. You can write things out in plain English, or you can get specific and designate shots and transitions. I have a link in the description to the official prompting guide that gets deeper into these specifics. And in my workflow, I have some basic examples of the more programmatic prompting that this model is capable of. Now, onto the main dish, reference to video. This version of the model is extremely flexible, making it, on the whole, a bit slower than the T2V/I2V version of the model. But that makes sense, right? A model designed to do one thing tends to do that one thing more efficiently than a model that's trained to do a great many of things. So we use the Ref2V model for more complicated purposes, such as our first and simplest topic, composing a scene with references. If you watched my last video on character creation, you should have no problem creating a character reference sheet. You can even use just a single shot of the character, the model will do great. And if you're using ZImage or Krea 2 for image generation, like you should be, you'll also have no problem creating a simple background for your shot too. With our Ref2VA model, we can now load in our character's reference sheet, the scene or background, and let's say a line of dialogue for good measure. With the Ref2V model, we have to pay special attention to our prompt, where we define our subjects, which can be characters, location, and audio files, where we describe the summary, which defines what kind of scene we're actually genning and breaks down the shot-by-shot moments, and then lastly, some audio settings.
So what happened to being done with me once we got back to town? Thought you had your fill of near-death experiences.
Now, you may have just shit yourself looking at all these tags and keywords. I get it, but they're not all necessary, and a lot of it you can just copy and paste around from the prompting guide, your own notes, or the template. As I said, the model is very smart, but it's good to get used to them. Good to understand the general structure, because these keywords are what the official documentation says the text encoder is trained to understand. It turns LTX's prompting style of hope and reroll often into deterministic success or failure based primarily on prompting skills. Did somebody say skill issue? I did. Get good, scrub. Alright, let's jump into some fun stuff now. This is how you would include yourself in a movie scene.
Welcome, Harry, to Diagon Alley.
Make your waifu the one dancing in a K-pop song. Click to enable the Video 1 reference, load your video, and set your starting frame and frame load cap to reflect the length of your overall video. In this case, 4 seconds at 24 frames per second, is 96 frames, so I go with that. Next, I enable Picture 1 and choose a character. After that, in the prompt, we write in some keywords denoting that this is a video edit. Defining this is a video editing task in summary is important, and being clear of what type of editing we're performing is also crucial. In this case, we're copying the video references motion onto our primary character in Picture 1. Here, the fully preserved marker tells the model that the input image should not be changed, which maintains the exact pose and background of your reference image. If your goal is to edit the character into the original video, rather than just copy the motion to the scene in your reference, you may want to add Preserve Video 1's background environment in the target video, and take out the fully preserved marker. Now, folks, this model is rapidly developing. Every hour there is a new speed-up, new best practice, new node. And so I plan to release this video in parts and continue to update my workflow every time there is something new worth your time. I implore you to please go onto my Patreon page and follow me there. It's totally free, and I always make announcements about my discoveries and updates there first. And as always, please subscribe and like if you found this helpful. I'm still building my community here as a new content creator, so every bit helps. And thank you all for tuning in and exploring the wondrous world of local stable diffusion with me. Catch y'all in the next one.